What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Totski, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. There is just so much going on right now, and in today's video, we're going to be covering some very intriguing information that's going to help basically everyone, because this is going to be pertaining to free-to-play characters. So if we go over to the notice board, this is already in-game right now. We can already have a look at all this information without having to do any time traveling or anything like that. So this is available like literally today. So these 4 characters are receiving some new major buffs that makes them actually good, and they're going to have fantastic synergy with the upcoming Super Sugo Fest exclusive Borsalino. So we're going to have a look and see what these characters are actually doing. I haven't read through any of their abilities, but from what I have been hearing from these characters, they seem pretty strong. Let's go ahead and jump into things with Clash Zephyr. Extremely old unit. Look at the ID number, 353. For context, we're over 4,400, even maybe higher right now. So this is an old ass unit right here, Clash Zephyr. So let's have a look and see what he got. So the first thing is that they all got Limit Break expansion. So by using a key to unlock their path, they get a third potential ability. This guy got Final Tap. And of course, I shouldn't be surprised. It's a 1000 base attack boost. Okay. So you have to reach the final battle, and you need damage reduction on your side of the field to activate it. Whatever. Who cares? Let's have a look and see what the actual buff was for this guy with his special ability. So for context, his previous special, 1.75 times shooter attack boost for 2 turns. When he came out, it was actually pretty insane how good this was. But when we have a look and see what he has now, he's going to delay all enemies for 1 turn. Ignoring. Wait, what? Delays all enemies for 1 turn, ignoring. If that is ignoring immunity, that's very strong. If that is just a word that shouldn't be there, okay, whatever. He also adds 50 times his attack on top of tap timing bonus damage for 3 turns. It's fine. The other legend, Zephyr, also does a very similar thing. It then says, if the crew has an attack boost when you launch the special, it's going to boost shooter character's base attack by 1500 for 2 turns, and then 60% damage reduction for 1 turn. If you have 3 or more Neo Marines or Navy on your crew, boost shooter character's attack by 3 times for 2 turns. What? 3? Boosts crew's attack based on the damage reduction effect applied to the crew. So if you got a 60%, you get a 1.6 damage bonus for 2 turns. That's so strong. And reduces his own special charge time by 6 turns. Boost shooter character's attack by 2.5 for 2 turns otherwise. Okay, so there's a lot going on here. So basically, he does a delay. He does tap timing bonus damage for 3 turns. If you have an attack buff, you get base attack buff for 2 turns, and you get damage reduction. It then says, if you have 3 or more Navy or Neo Marines, you get 3x attack for 2 turns for shooters, and you get damage reduction based attack boost for 2 turns. And it will also give himself 6 turns of cooldown. If you have none of those tags on your crew, if you don't have 3 or more, then it's just 2.5 times attack boost for 2 turns. What's his cooldown? It's currently 13. With Limit Break expansion, actually we could probably check that out right now. If I go to Limit Break, and then we go ahead and search him, Zephyr, this guy right here, how much cooldown does he get? Cooldown, he only gets 1? Oh man, that is a stinker. What's his crewmate ability? He makes the whole crew's int and bomb slots have matching slot effects. Okay, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Okay, so he doesn't get a lot of cooldown, which is unfortunate. So he only goes down to a 13 turn cooldown. Yeah, okay. He still gets 6 turns of cooldown, which, again, you gotta remember, Borsalino, the new Legend Borsalino, has the ability to give minus 6 turns of cooldown to the middle row when you launch his special. So there is gonna be some pretty interesting plays there with this guy and Borsalino. So overall, it does make this guy very strong, but he makes it, like, even better when you use him alongside the new Borsalino. And I think this is a really nice way to give buffs to not only the Straw Hats, because the Straw Hats basically got all the rare recruits in this batch. So giving these old free-to-play characters some new buffs to make Borsalino better is great. So this is going to be a good opportunity to do this right before the anniversary drops. Farm up all of these copies of Zephyr and all of these other free-to-play characters to get them like level Limit Break 5. You unlock their potential abilities, get them good to go. So that if you end up pulling Borsalino, this guy's going to work really well with him. So this character is a Neo Marines character, which is unfortunate because Borsalino wants as many Navy tag characters as possible. That is not going to work. So that does kind of suck that he doesn't actually receive that buff there. So there's that. So let's go ahead and move on to the next character, which is Kuzan. So Kuzan, right here, he is a 15-turn cooldown with this guy, and he gets Super Tandem, a free-to-play Super Tandem, which is nice. The Super Tandem says, at the final battle, when any 2 of the following characters are on the crew, Sakazuki, Sengoku, Monkey D. Garb, Borsalino. Okay, so that you can make this work. You can make this work for sure. Applies a tandem attack boost of 2.25 times to Navy characters for 1 turn. This is what I've been saying. You know, the fact that we have these new tags in the game, give the straight up attack buffs to the tag. Like, don't say, like, give attack buffs to, you know, strength units or int units or fighters or whatever it is, right? Give them to the tags, and that's exactly what they're doing here. Perfectly working with Borsalino, working with the rest of these characters, and it's a free-to-play Super Tandem that's 2.25. Like, this is on the levels of, like, a legend-worthy Super Tandem, because it requires 2 units plus Kuzan, so it's a 3-tap Super Tandem, which is standard, and it's giving you a 2.25 boost. And it's not even, like, class or color focus, it's just Navy units. So this enables more Navy-focused teams. I love this, and this works perfectly with Borsalino in the fact that he is a Super Tandem boost. So once this Super Tandem activates, Borsalino automatically triggers, giving your Navy characters buffs, including Navy Admirals actually receive an even higher buff from Borsalino, which makes sense. So this character is Navy and Navy Admiral, also a low gear too. So he just, again, works perfectly with him. Now let's have a look at the special. Locks crew slots for 2 turns, that's great. Changes crew slots, including block into tandem. It's a tandem unit that gives you a full board of tandem, that's phenomenal. If the crew has an attack boost when you launch the special, you get a 1.4 chain addition, and you get a 40% heal. That's neat. And then if you have 3 or more navies, boost striker character's attack by 3x for 2 turns, reduces crew's special bind duration by 6 turns. Holy cow, dude. And applies increased damage taken status to all enemies, 1.75 for 2 turns, ignoring immunity. What? This is absurd. This character's crazy. Dude, this character, no joke, is like on the level of a legend. This character is crazy strong. And surely he resists it, right? And he resists, oh my god. So this guy is only obviously going to work on a Navy team, because you need the 3 or more navies for his special to actually work. And then with Borsalino, remember with the way that his captain ability works, he states in his captain ability that if you have, I think it's 4 or more, or 5 or more navies, I think it's 4 or more navies, then any special on your crew that targets a certain class or a certain color is for the whole team instead. So what this means is that when you activate the special ability of this guy, instead of being an attack boost for strikers, when you have Borsalino's fully activated captain, it's going to work for all characters, not just strikers. Dude, this Kuzan is freaking cracked. He is cracked. Absolutely absurd. Definitely the best friend with the new Borsalino. He is so good. Holy cow, dude. Alright, I'm loving what I'm seeing here. Let's move on. We have Sakazuki next. He's a final tap unit. I wonder what it's going to be. Base attack boost. Oh, fucking hell, man. These guys right here, they think they're so smart. Okay, so garbage final tap, no one gives a crap. Let's have a look at this special ability. Alright, so Sakazuki will apply an ignited status to all enemies for 2 turns. And it doesn't go through full immunity? Wait, really? So you're gonna have all these other effects from these other... So, like, wait, did I miss something? Like... It went through immunity, right? His increased damage taken that he inflicts? Oh my god, if I could click the freaking button. Where is it? So if you have 3 or more navies, you get the attack boost for 2 turns, reduce special bind, and applies increased damage taken for 2 turns, ignoring immunity to status effects. And yet you have this guy, and he... Okay, I gotta keep reading. Maybe it'll say if you have tags, it'll go through. Let's see. So you apply the ignite. He also deals 150 times his attack and strength damage to all enemies, and boosts the damage dealt to ignited enemies 2.75 for 2 turns. That's pretty strong. After that, changes strength character slots to strength, and then it says if 3 or more Navy characters are on the team, applies ignited status to all... Okay, I just had to keep reading. Silly goose. For 2 turns. So if you have 3 more navies, it goes through immunity. And that's it. Boosts the color affinity of strength characters by 3x for 2 turns. Reduces all enemies' defense up and damage threshold by 6 turns. Whew. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, so if you have all of the tags, you get ignited status that goes through immunity. You get a conditional boost, 2.75. That's a very high conditional boost, by the way. You then also get... so, again, the way that Borsalino's captain ability works, I'm pretty sure it counts for any ability that targets classes or colors will work for all characters. So, technically, this will change all character slots to strength. And then if you have the tags, you're going to get ignited through immunity. You're going to get... there's a 3 times color affinity for strength characters, but that gets transformed to all units for 2 turns. 6 turn defense up and 6 turns damage threshold removal. And then if you don't have the tags, you just get 2.5 times strength color affinity. So it's a big difference. Does he make strength slots beneficial? He does. He makes strength slots beneficial. Perfect. This character also very, very good for Borsalino. Not as crazy as what Kuzan was doing. That character just seemed absolutely insane. But this character also very, very good unit to be using alongside Borsalino. Let's have a look at the final character here, which is old mate Fujitora, more modern day Navy Admiral character. So Fujitora here, he also gets a super tandem ability. And at level 5, at the final battle, you need 2 of the following characters. So you got Kuzan, Kizaru, Akainu, Green Bull, Sengoku, Garp, and Zoro. Pretty good array of units there. Applies a tandem attack boost of 2x for Powerhouse and Slasher for 1 turn. I think this is fine. I would have loved it to just be Navy again, but it doesn't include Zoro, so I guess you can't really include Navy with Zoro. That doesn't really make sense. Slasher and Navy would have worked pretty well too, but Powerhouse and Slasher's fine. I believe Borsalino Legend is a Slasher, so that can work with him either way. It's still good. Like, a free-to-play super tandem on this level is still never a bad thing. It's pretty solid overall. Let's see what special buffs he got. When this guy first came out, by the way, this was a very powerful raid unit when he first dropped, so I'm expecting good things here. He reduces all enemies' Rainbow Shield, damage threshold, and defense up by 3 turns. Fine. Reduces enemies' HP by 8%. Reduces all enemies' HP by 8%, ignoring all defensive effects. That's interesting. He changes his own slot into tandem and changes adjacent slots into matching through block. If the crew has an orb boost when you launch the special, further increases your base attack by 250. And then Slasher and Powerhouse characters get a 1,250 base attack boost for 2 turns. Okay, so it's a 1,500 base attack boost. And then if you don't have the orb boost already active, he will give you a 2-turn orb boost. Okay, like nothing crazy so far. If you've got 3 or more navies on the crew, applies set target status. Okay, applies set target status. How powerful of a set target? Is it 2x? 1.75 is still good though. Essentially what this means is if you have 3 or more navies, it's basically just 1.75 times free damage for any character that is Powerhouse or Slasher. Very, very strong. And what else? What else? What else? And reduces his own special charge time by 7 turns. So it's not as crazy as Kuzan, but it still seems pretty good. His cooldown is 13, and then if you give him -7, and then use Borsalino again, yeah, okay, I can see what they're doing here. This character with Borsalino, being able to launch twice is quite strong. Being able to get that effect where, not only being able to launch this twice, but the defensive effect removal that he has. He removes Rainbow Shield, Threshold, and defense by 3 turns. Being able to launch that twice in the same turn, 6-turn removal. It's a pretty big difference there. And then, you know, he seems okay, but Kuzan just by himself, by far and away, seemed the most insane. This guy's like a legend. He's crazy. I can't believe how good this guy is. Just a phenomenal character. So that's all of the buffs to these free-to-play navies. Definitely farm them. I'll probably get them done today at some point. All definitely worth getting maxed out, because if you pull Borsalino, you want to have these guys ready to go. Now, that's not the only thing I wanted to talk about in this video, because we have a lot to talk about. Let's just move over to the Pie Rumble stuff, because the Assault Rumble, we can now click on it and have a look and see what it is doing. So we get a little bit more information in regards to what Assault Rumble is actually about. This is the new starting screen here. We don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I believe this starts on the anniversary itself, on the 11th of May. So we'll see what it's all about. There is a bit of an information post here in regards to how this actually works. So I want to go through this, because some of this info is actually new. So it talks about the total score, which we know how that was calculated before. Damage score, the total damage dealt to the enemy is counted as your damage score. If you do 12,340, that's the amount of damage score that you get. And then there's the life score. So the life score is based off of the remaining HP of the crew. So the higher HP you have, the more score you will have. And then the bonuses. Boost the assault score by using 3 different bonuses. The assault level bonus, get assault level bonus based on the boss's assault level. So at level 1, it's a 1x boost, but at whatever it is, assault level max, it's a 3x bonus. Defeating the boss will raise the assault level for more bonuses. And then the defeat bonus, get defeat bonus by defeating all enemies. If boss's assault level is at max, defeating the enemies will get it into a break status. When in break status, you can continue to deal damage to it until the time runs out. So at the max level of assault level, the enemies don't actually die. They'll just be in break status for a certain period of time, and then you can just do more damage against them. So that's the way that it works. So assault level, you basically can't like beat it per se. Like the enemies will eventually get back at you, but it's more of just like how much damage can you do in that short period of time, essentially, is how it works. Trusty character bonus. We all love the trusty characters, don't we? Certain characters will apply a bonus just for owning them. We can see the rules. Check the special rules. Cooperate with your alliance members. Okay, we understand that. There's rewards, and in terms of the rewards, they're nothing really new. There's Rumble Scrolls, Gems, Bounty, Red tickets, oddly enough, as well as Legend tickets. Again, like nothing too crazy. So, yeah, we have to see exactly when Assault Rumble drops. We're going to make a dedicated video for it. I mean, it drops on the same day as the anniversary, so we'll probably be live streaming at the time. So we'll probably go through it and see how it goes, right? So that is that. There is one other minor thing I wanted to... Well, actually, I guess it's 2 minor things to talk about before we wrap up this video. Maybe just one. We'll maybe save it for another video. But there is 4 free-to-play characters that are dropping with this data download. Very, very weirdly enough. So all of the shops, the Treasure Map shop, Kizuna shop, Rumble shop, and the PKA shop are going to be introducing new characters you can pick up for free by using the currency of that game mode. What I mean by that is, if you go to the Treasure Map shop, you can use your blue Treasure Map tickets to purchase a new character. In this instance, we have a new Jinbei. Now, this new Jinbei, at face value, doesn't really seem that great. However, you can see in the top corner, he does have a Super Tandem boost, which is interestingly enough. Jinbei here, Sci-Fighter Powerhouse, doesn't have a great special. It doesn't really do much. Damage reduction, remove a little bit of burn, nothing crazy there. His Super Tandem boost at level 5, again, nothing too crazy. For Straw Hats and Fishmans that use a Super Tandem, Sun Pirates and Fishmen get level 2 boost, and then Straw Hats get level 1. Again, not really too great. He does have a support effect though, attaching to a lot of the other Fishman related characters, and it says once per quest, if supported character uses a special, reduces damage taken by 50% for 1 turn and reduce 1 turn of burn. Not really the biggest fan of this one because like damage reduction supports aren't overly needed. Like there are some circumstances where they can be quite good, but most of the time they're not that great. So, you know, there's that one there. Nothing too great. We can only, unfortunately, see 2 of the characters in game. The other character that we can see, if we go to the bazaar, the Rayleigh's Bazaar. No, it's not this one. It's, it is, I got it on the side here, the Rumble shop. We need to go to the Rumble. So in the Rumble shop, there is going to be a new Luffy, actually. A new free-to-play Luffy. If we go to the Rumble shop, it's actually right here on the side. It's a Monkey D. Luffy that is focused around the escape from Impel Down. So he is an int free spirit fighter, very similar to Jinbei in the fact that he doesn't really do a lot. Lock slots, bind removal, nothing crazy there. However, very powerful support effect that we see here, attaching to Buggy, Mr. 3, Mr. 2, Mr. 0, Crocodile, Ivankov, and Jinbei. So attaching to a lot of good units. Once per quest, if you use a special to change your slots, it will lock your slots for 1 turn and reduce 1 turn of bind. Phenomenal support, actually. Very, very good. So you want to attach this to a character that is one of those units that has an orb changing special. The first one that comes to mind to me is Treasure Map Legend Bon Clay. He has a special ability that gives cooldown, changes all slots to recovery, and being able to use this with that unit, attach it to that unit, and then you get lock slots, you get bind removal as well. It's a powerful support effect. The only real downside to this character is the fact that it counts as a Luffy, and a lot of the times you want to use a Luffy on your team, and not all the time, but most of the time that you want to put a Luffy on your team, so that kind of takes up that slot. But overall, I think it's pretty interesting. It could be used on some units in the future, so this would definitely be a character that you want to get. I'm going to go ahead and pull up a little web page now to show you guys exactly the rest of the other units here. So the next one here is going to be a new Lola, and there is going to be a new Skypean Nami. So one of these is going to be in the Kizuna shop, one of these is going to be in the Pirate King Adventure shop, and from what we can kind of surmise is that they're going to be very similar to the Luffy and the Jinbei in that they don't really have good abilities, but they have useful supports that could be good for some key characters. My assumption is that Lola will be a support kind of focused on Nami, and then we have this Nami which might be a support for like the Skypean characters, maybe some other Straw Hats as well. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe Sanji getting some buffs there. We'll have to wait and see exactly what they have in mind. So there's that. So I think with all that being said, that pretty much will wrap us up here for this video today. Again, lots of stuff happening in Treasure Cruise. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.